Grab a foam ball and some colorful ornaments to make this Christmas decor. I'm starting with a styrofoam ball, and I'm going to use a craft knife to just cut a little divot out of the top. Now I've got some thick rope, and I'm going to tie a knot in one end and place it in that little divot, cover it in hot glue so it's really secure. Now let's get some ornaments on here. It's best to pull the little silver cap off the end of each ornament, cover the tip with hot glue, and then push it into the styrofoam. This is going to hold really well. I'm going to start by covering the styrofoam ball with the larger, colorful ornaments, and then I can go back with some smaller ones and fill in the gaps. And I'm just going to keep going until the entire ball is covered. Now that the entire ball is covered, I can lift this up and hang this up. I hope this inspired you to go grab some colorful ornaments and make a fun ornament ball for Christmas.
I have one of these inexpensive plastic ornaments, and I wanted to do something for winter. So we're going to begin by making sure that the top is nice and secured. I'm going to use one of these wires that you can find from nickseasonaldecor.com. So what you're going to do is just secure the wire by feeding it through the hook and tie it secure. You're going to want to tie it a couple of times to ensure that it's not going anywhere. Then we're going to take some scissors and snip off the excess wire, and then we're going to cut this however long we would like. So depending on where you want to hang this, you can hang this outside on your trees, you can hang these on a shepherd's hook, so many different places, but I'm going to cut it about 2 feet long and hang this from my kitchen. Now I'm going to take my scissors and just cut a little piece of styrofoam. Just like that. We're going to do the same thing twice, and then we're going to glue these to the top of the ornament. Now we're going to dip a scrap floral stem into our glue skillet. We're going to add some hot glue, and it's a great alternative to your typical glue gun. So I'm going to place one piece of styrofoam there, and we're going to do the same thing with another little piece of styrofoam. So again, grab a little bit of hot glue, add some hot glue to the styrofoam, and then place it on the other side. Now we're going to break down some of this frosted greenery, and I think this is going to look really nice against the rose gold ornament. Now we're going to take our greenery and begin inserting it right into the styrofoam. With the pieces that are double, we're going to place them in, and then we can just bend them down. Don't forget about adding a little bit of height by working in some of your greenery pointing straight up. And these little singular pieces you can use to cover up your styrofoam. Now it's time to come back in with some decorative picks, and we're going to be using these iridescent white sprays. And these, with the iridescence, it almost looks rose gold, which matches the ornament perfectly. So after snipping these down, come back in with a little bit of hot glue, or if you're placing this inside, you can easily just take your stem and poke it right in. After snipping down the bush, we're going to just simply snip these down once more so that it's not overwhelming the ornament. Now we can come back to the ornament and start working these in. And you can add as many or as few as you would like, or you can use any other product that you have on hand as well. And here's how it turned out. So let's hang this from my kitchen ceiling and give you the full tour. All we're going to do is just tie this to either a push pin or a miniature command strip to hang it. These are extremely lightweight. And this is how it looks in my kitchen, you guys. I absolutely love it. And for a little bit of pizzazz, you can have it swirling as well. So really, really cute to do. There's so many different size ornaments out there, different textures, shapes, colors. Feel free to use whatever you like best. Same goes with the ornament, the greenery, and the picks. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Hometalk. I grabbed a bouncy ball from Walmart, so I chose a yard of this glittery white fabric to kind of simulate snow. What we're going to do is just take the ball, place it right in the middle, and bring all that fabric to the center. So we're just going to pinch it and gather it. Now we're going to take a zip tie to secure it. This fabric will not be wasted. We'll use it as terry cloth. We'll use it in other projects. So don't feel bad seeing all of this fabric being cut off. Now we can just snip off the excess zip tie. And we're going to take a piece of wire to secure this. So this is going to be our wire that we hang it from a tree, from a shepherd's hook, from a lamppost. We're going to just take that wire and just tie it right around the top. And I'm also going to cut off an excess. That way we have enough room to tie it from whatever we decide. And it's not too short and we have to worry about that later on. So just make sure to cut a long enough piece. Now I have some of these beautiful snowy roses, and these already come pre-flocked. We carry them in rose form as well as peony form, and I think they're going to look really pretty for the entire length of winter. So we're going to just snip off each flower, and we are going to keep these leaves because these leaves are going to be the foundation underneath the flowers, adding a little bit of oomph to the ornament. To work them in, we're going to just dip the leaves into our glue skillet, And fabric is a great adhesive for all of your florals, your artificial leaves, your artificial flowers. It does a great job keeping them in place. So don't worry about these falling apart because these actually hold up really nicely. And I created this technique about 5 years ago now. And the original ball that I created is still going strong. So what you might see over time is that the ball deflates, but if you keep the nozzle to inflate it towards the surface, you can just poke a hole right through the fabric and inflate it as needed. But for $1 versus a $15, $16, $20 styrofoam ornament, it's very cost effective to use the lightweight bouncy ball. We can come back in with the rose flowers. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hot glue those right in place as well. And notice the thickness of my glue. I always like to keep it more of a honey consistency to prevent it from dripping and to save my hands because we don't want hot glue to drip on our hands. Now we're going to just come back in with even more roses. And I think, like I mentioned before, this is perfect for all winter long. And you can place this before Christmas as well. So you have a really long season for this using only a couple of dollars worth of ingredients. And here is how it looks hanging from my tree, you guys. I absolutely love it, and it looks so pretty swaying with the wind. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Hometalk. Bye for now.
First, let's prep the pumpkins. So let's remove the stems by just pulling them from the pumpkin, and we will reattach them later. So first, I spray painted all of the pumpkins a basic white. Once they dried completely, I lightly sprayed the pumpkins with a green spray paint, kind of like an overspray. And I did this by layering light dustings of the green paint and let it dry in between. This part really didn't take very long. Once they're completely dry, then we can reattach the pumpkin stems, which I had painted with a silver nickel spray paint and oversprayed with the green spray paint. Next, we're going to prep the styrofoam ball. So take a length of floral wire that is about double the length of the styrofoam ball and fold it in half. Now, if your styrofoam is soft enough, you can pierce through with the floral wire and just pull it to the other side. My styrofoam ball was pretty dense, and so I took an upholstery needle and pierced through the ball to create a little tunnel, and then I push the floral wire through to the other side with the folded edge. So when that folded edge comes out the other side, just twist it to create a loop, and that's what you'll hang your pumpkin ball from. Then on the other side, you've got two little tails of the excess floral wire. Just take each one of those tails, fold it around the edge of the pumpkin ball, and just stick it into the side of the ball. And that is sufficient to anchor that floral wire into the styrofoam ball. Now is the really fun part. We get to glue the pumpkins onto the styrofoam ball. There really is no set pattern for gluing the pumpkins. However, I find it helps to kind of group the pumpkins in groups of 3, keeping in mind that a succulent will go in the center, in between those, filling in that gap. So to attach the pumpkins to the ball, you just use hot glue, put some hot glue on the bottom of each pumpkin and stick to the styrofoam ball. You want to hold this in place until it is set. Every once in a while, I needed to glue a leaf to a pumpkin to keep the succulent anchored. Once the pumpkins and succulents are glued to the ball, you will notice there are still nooks and crannies, so fill those with moss. A little bit of hot glue is all you need to attach the moss and fill those spaces, and just stuff the moss in and fill those spots. I think this was my favorite part of the project because I can really see what the ball is going to look like when it's finished. Finally, tie a ribbon to the wire loop that you made earlier on, and you now have a beautiful pumpkin ball that is ready for hanging. I have used this hanging from our front porch. I tried it hanging from a shepherd's hook in the backyard, and might even have it hanging from our back door. I hope you enjoy making this pumpkin ball. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Missy with Sonata Home Design, and I'll see you next time.